Beautiful. Hey everyone, welcome to That Pedal Show. Dan here.
Mick here. Hello, hello, hello. Please subscribe.
Indeed.
Please go to That Pedal Show store and buy stuff. That's the main way we fund this show.
Indeed.
I'm having glasses hell.
Yeah.
Soon to be solved.
Okay. Do they not do the forehead thing?
They do, but it really annoys people. So I'm trying to take them on and off. And hopefully after this, there'll be no more on and offables. So I've got new glasses coming. Anyway, you don't want to know about that. Rotaries.
Or known as Rotary.
We had a T-shirt once, and it said Rotary Looper at the end. It was called Stompio Continua. Anyway, why are we doing this? Because Rotary Speaker is something we both love. Mm-hmm. I love in particular. If you go back over That Pedal Show history, we've done a show with real Rotary Speaker, and we've decided that there isn't really a pedal that can do it in the actual rotary speaker in
because
the room
of the physical nature of it, right? Because of the physics of actually moving air. It's an amazing experience.
But we've moved on from that and decided that, you can't carry one of those things around, so a pedal's a really good idea. Two new ones, or new-ish ones out, should we say. The Boss RT-2 Rotary Ensemble.
Yes.
Boss has great history with rotary pedals because everyone loved the RT-20.
RT-20 was amazing.
It's been around for ages.
Yeah. And what I loved particularly about the RT2 is they've kept the little intercircular flashing thing in the center, which is the one thing I loved about the RT20.
Isn't one the horns and one the rotor?
One is the horn.
One the rotor and one's the...
That's right.
Yeah. The main speaker. Keeley Rotary is relatively new. Mm-hmm. Strymon Lex, this is a version 2. I think we're going to say is everyone's favourite rotary speaker pedal.
Okay.
I would say it probably exists as the market leader. And if you talk about rotary speaker, all eyes turn to Lex.
Okay.
Yeah, no?
I think the Lex and the Vent, the original Vent and now the mini Vent.
Yeah, so if you don't do the Lex, you do the Vent. I came across this via Cock first, and it was my rotary speaker simulator choice for the longest time. Yeah. There's various different versions. This is the one I personally like the best. There's a bigger one with loads of knobs on it and a really, really tiny one, but I really dig this one because it's got no knobs on it. And we may as well say it now, the rotary speaker by which all others should be judged, the Hughes & Kettner Rotosphere Mark II, which is my actual favourite and the one I have on my board.
Yep.
Because...
it's a valve-driven analog thing, but regardless of that, because it sounds just properly glorious.
So there's a lot to get through, right? And we're not going to get into the minutiae of every pedal. I printed out all the manuals, and honestly, the Strymon manual's 42 pages long.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, man, because it does... What have we got then? All of them do stereo.
Yep.
Some of them do MIDI. Mm-hmm. That does MIDI. Do we think the Boss does MIDI?
No.
Oh, okay. So
one does MIDI.
One does MIDI, it would seem. But what we're going to break it down like this. We're going to start mono. The way most people use their rotary speaker pedals most of the time is mono into 1 amp. We've got the mono into 2 amps, but just pretend it's 1. It's the same thing hitting both amps. And the questions we've got there are, the questions I've got about a rotary speaker, first and foremost, what is the quality of the rotary sound?
Yes. That has to be the foremost question, right?
Do we like the spinny?
Yeah. Yeah. Everything else follows after that. But unless we get that one right, we're sort of chasing our tails to nowhere.
Waste of time. The next thing after that for me is a relationship of drive, overdrive, and EQ. Mm-hmm. Because the classic rotary speaker sound, and by classic rotary speaker, we are really talking about the Leslie with the bass speaker and the rotating horns. Mm-hmm. We're not necessarily talking about the Fender Vibratone here,
right? Which
is just one speaker.
Yes.
No rotating horns. So do we like the quality of the rotary sound itself? Can we adjust the overdrive and can we adjust the bass and treble tilt, as it were? Mm-hmm. Because that has a huge effect on your amp. So those things are really important.
So we're talking about the way that we're driving the preamp sound of the the rotary amplifier, right? How we because a big part of the rotary sound is that slight bit of on the edge distortion.
Absolutely, it is. And if you look at old rotary speakers that have the amplifiers built in, if you turn them up real loud, they start overdriving, and that is a big part of the sound. Particularly if you use it on keys, go listen to John Lord. But that's adding a Marshall and all other crazy stuff. So we like that. We like to be able to have a bit of overdrive. In addition, what I want out of a rotary speaker is some sort of transition between fast and slow.
Yes.
So I want a slow sound, I want a fast sound, and I want that transition to feel musical. So can we adjust it? And finally, they usually have a break mode as well, where the speaker isn't spinning, but it's on.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty cool sound in itself.
It's almost like a stopped flanger almost. It's like the speed of it, the distance of it comes down to a point. It's just almost creating this comb filter type thing.
Exactly,
it's such an amazing sound.
It's a really cool sound. Let's before we get into it, then, just seeing as we've spoken about that, just going to demonstrate fast, slow, and the break sound using the Rotosphere. Dan, do you want to have a wibbly wobbly? Oh, Noel would never forgive us.
No.
I wonder what the settings are.
Amplifiers today: Fender Deluxe Reverb 65 reissue standard speaker, the amp we use all the time, and a Tone King Imperial Mark II, which is kind of like a deluxe reverb, so they sound similar on a 112 cab with the Tone King speaker. So they're set up to sound similar. So when we get into stereo, it won't be too weird. Apologies, Daniel.
No.
Here's the amps.
So there's no overdrive on there, right?
Well, it has a saturation control.
It has a saturation control, but we didn't have a separate overdrive panel. All of that drive was coming from that.
Yeah.
That alone is glorious. It doesn't feel like I've popped an overdrive pedal on. It's unreal.
The good news is you can't find them and they don't make them anymore.
And if you can find them,
so
they're crazy expensive.
Hopefully you heard the difference between the break mode and the slow mode. Fundamentally different sounds, just to set us up for what we're looking for. Okay, so what we'll do is, if we stumble across a problem, we'll try and fix it.
Yep, great.
And I've got the manuals to hand. What we're not going to do is go through every feature.
Yes.
If you want to do that, go and watch the main product video on the various manufacturers' websites.
Let's start with the RT-2. This came out relatively recently with 3 modes.
Yeah. One is the original one and there's 2 modified ones, is that right?
That sounds good to me. And also, you switch between the speeds by pressing and holding on the pedal.
Okay, all right. Gagne then. There's something going on in the psychology of my brain that I cannot remember, even when I'm looking at the diagram, what the two knobs do, internal and external.
Oh, okay.
I think what was happening was as I was turning up the output of the pedal, it was overdriving the amps a bit.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking I'm pushing up the output of the pedal and I can hear overdrive, and I think that's because the amps are going into overdrive.
Yeah, I think one of the things a couple of people have said is that there is a bass level of overdrive in the pedal. So it starts off, fairly fairly crunchy.
Okay.
And then sort of goes from there. And it also depending on which mode you have. So
yeah, I mean, here's the Boss. Is edited highlights of the Boss manual.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So you can do all sorts of things, like distance of the mic between.
Oh, really?
Remember, we're just in mono at the moment. You can do loads of stuff with other parameters. So maybe we'll get into that in a minute.
But this is how it comes out of the box, right?
Yeah.
And the sound that I dug straight out of the box was drive basically on off, mode 3, level at noon, and pretty much where you have it there. And that I found kind of matched just a direct through sound.
Super interesting. Do you know why?
Why is that?
Mode 3 is the wet sound and the direct dry sound.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because one of the problems about digital rotary speaker pedals is there'll always be latency on the wet effect. So if you've got it all wet and you're running it wet dry, we'll get into that in a minute. Okay, let's get on to the Keeley then. What I like about the Keeley, straight off the bat, there are secondary functions, right? But they're not obvious from the top panel.
Right.
Everything is very obvious.
Yes.
And I dig that.
Yeah.
In a big way.
And loads of players, guy from Fish,
Trey
Anastasio, he heard this and just went, oh, yes, please. And now this is in his rig. And there's loads of, sort of big players have heard this and gone, I really dig it.
Yeah. Mid boost switch, down for flat, middle for a slight mid boost, up for a little more. So we'll go through all of that.
Okay.
And as is the norm, on, off, and fast, slow on the foot switches, as is the relative norm.
Norm.
Okay, what I've wanted in both so far is some way of EQing.
Yep.
And that can be done on the Hughes and Kettner, for example, and I rather suspect on this one. Mm-hmm. It's done by the balance of the horn to the spinny horn to the main speaker. That's how you
get the top end in there.
Do the or take it out. Because what can happen, especially with the digital ones, is they get real fizzy real quick.
Okay.
And I've noticed that in both of these so far. And if you add overdrive to that, definitely. So, can you do it? Okay, quick manual check. On the back, on the front face of the RT-2 are some more switches, which means the drive knob.
Yep.
We're back to the Boss. The drive knob becomes drive or balance.
Right. Now balance.
So if you play again,
yep.
This should be our balance between rotor and main speaker.
Okay.
And what's great about that is when you then change the switch to make it do something else, it just remembers where it was.
Oh, does it? Oh, so you can actually set the balance you like and then go back to the...
Great.
That's very cool.
Happy days.
Yeah.
And there's a secondary function on the other knob as well. Great. So can we do that in the Keeley Rotary is the question. Yeah. Okay. I think the EQ in the Keeley is set.
Right.
So you can't...
Which is what the mid-boost switch is for.
No, I don't think you can change the balance between the main speaker and the rotaries at the top. The mid boost works in the mid, so we'll just hear that quickly.
I kind of dig it though. I kind of dig where the balance is.
Yeah, sounds nice. I know that from using both the Vent and the Rotosphere, depending on what amp you're using, I really need
that. Yeah,
and the overdrive pedal.
Yeah, okay.
Just to decide where the fizz is or isn't. But I agree with you. It sounds great. We'll try it with some overdrive in a minute. Right, mini Vent then. There's no knobs because there's various stages of power up that you can select, like 1 to 4 drive. You can select 1 to 4.
Okay,
speed.
Right.
You can select various things like the minimum and maximum speed. The reason I love this pedal when I bought it first was I didn't have to worry about any of that. I just took it out of the box, turned it on, and I was like, that will do.
Yep.
On the back, there is an A and B switch, which is 2 versions of each combination. So you've got slow, fast, and brake.
Okay.
And you can have 2 lots of that, if that makes sense.
Right.
2 preset levels of it.
Okay.
And I think the way it's set currently is one's a bit more overdrivey than the other. I can't remember.
Right.
Gagny.
Still sounds good.
Mini Vent by a mile for me.
Still sounds very good.
Definitely my favourite tonally.
Right.
Might just be because I'm used to it, and I used it for years. It is an utter pain in the backside if you want to change anything. I don't want to change anything.
Andy.
We did right at the beginning of that, push the AB switch, and the other preset is slightly gainier.
Right.
It's got slightly more going on.
Okay.
Right, Lex then. Now, what I love about this, WYSIWYG,
Yes.
it is
It's all there.
42 pages of manual, so every one of those things has a secondary function.
Okay.
So you can do things like mic distance, which you can, I believe, in the others by various... If you face east, put one hand in the air, it will come to you by a carrier pigeon.
Okay.
Anyway, let's see what it's like straight out the box. Oh good. I wonder, Dan. So we bought this used
Yes.
from Coda Music. Thank you, Coda. I do wonder. Press and hold the on foot switch to enter live edit mode. Once both LEDs flash, release the foot switch. Press the on switch. Good.
Well done.
Cab filter optimizes the output signal for use into either the front of a guitar amplifier or a full range speaker system. Press the on. Okay.
Winning.
If you want to jump out the window at this point, please do.
We'll join.
I think it's important to make sure that we're starting in
I agree completely. Otherwise it's
place.
Otherwise it's the torrent of
Abuse.
Yes, exactly.
Incredible abuse.
That sounds fantastic.
That's it. And I just dig the way everything is totally comprehensible from the top panel.
Yeah. Once you've got it set up like that into the right thing, that I really dig that.
What we said at the top was, do we like the quality of the Rotary Speaker sound? Yes. Can we alter the EQ and the drive easily?
Right.
Yes. Can we change the ramp speed between slow and fast easily? Yes. And obviously on all of these, you can set the minimum, maximum speed for the WAS name. One thing we haven't done actually yet is to see if they have a brake mode.
Okay. If you hold it.
Oh, York. dicing with death there, mate.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Just try that.
I believe the vent does it if you press both switches at the same time.
Okay.
So do the other two do it? They must. There's no mention of it on the Rotary's asset list.
Okay.
Well, I mean, let's try and press and hold and see what happens.
There you go.
Great.
Awesome.
So finally, let's see if that works in the Boss then.
Still a bit of movement in there.
Yeah, it doesn't slow it right down to 0, but maybe there's another way to do that.
But the other ones absolutely do it. It's very cool.
Yeah, okay. So my favourite one so far is the Lex.
Yep.
Let's see how it compares to the HK.
Yeah.
And then we'll do some wet dry stuff
Okay.
to see where we are.
I want to hear you play them.
Okay. It's not even close. It's not even close.
No.
And this is the part where everyone takes the keyboard and goes, oh, well, there's a million things you've done wrong.
Okay.
It's just not even close. Sorry, is it?
No.
And we haven't even done anything on the HK. Look, if you want to... didn't do that to suggest that any of those sounds were like fantastic sounds. What I did was within 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock on most of the controls, you've got this vast way in which you can shape that for the guitar and amp and other pedals that you're using.
Yeah.
Which I think is far harder work on the other things.
What's interesting to me, and this is a bugbear that I've got with a lot of companies' designs that take an older design, they think we're going to do something new, we're going to bring it forward into the modern age. One of the things that we're going to do with that design is we're going to make sure we kill all the noise in it. Yeah. Now, I'm up for a quieter pedal, but not at the sacrifice of the vibe, whatever's going on.
Yeah.
The Rotosphere, you hear all the shh up the top, but that's where all the clarity and top end is.
Well, did you notice on the top strings, you sort of almost get that buffery clarity?
Yeah.
For the top strings really singing.
Yeah.
Now, you might be able to turn the treble up, and I dare say that maybe there's some hidden functions there. The horn level is the thing that should give you the extra treble. That's what this is doing. It's just going between horn and bass rotor.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Mono into 1 amp Rotosphere by a country mile for me personally.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, okay. Let's do some wet dry then.
Okay.
Because the problem we've got with digital rotary speaker simulators, God, if you haven't turned up already, now you will, is the latency, right? So because of the way the effect is created, you naturally get some latency, which causes you some phase issues between your 2 amps. Now, that can be really cool.
It can be cool.
Or it might not be. Shall we try?
Good.
Right, what we've done now is, up until this point, you've been hearing the pedals hit both amps equally. So they've been mono, there's been no stereo, but they've just been going to both amps. What we've done now is the rotary speaker pedals will only be hitting the tone king. One of the amps gets the effects, one doesn't. And the point of doing this is, here's the point of doing this. A, Dan and I play wet dry all the time, but that's not the real point. The real point is all the famous users of rotary speaker cabinets down the years, the rotary speaker cabinet has been its own thing.
Yes.
So whether you're talking about Gilmour with his Yamaha or his Leslie or whatever it is he's using, he's got his main amps, right? And then he's got the rotor separate. It's a separate thing.
Separate thing, but used in conjunction with the other stuff as well.
Stevie Ray Vaughan and the Vibratone,
Yeah.
Clapton and the Leslie, you know, all the places that you've heard them. The Leslie is its own thing, right?
Yeah.
Mic'd up.
And this is a great way to use wet dry
Yeah.
with a rotating speaker thing.
So you retain all the punch and awesomeness of your main amp with your overdrive and all that, and the rotary speaker is additional.
Yes.
Shall we just have a quick flick and see what happens?
Sure.
Don't play any more than that. Right. The audio will tell the story.
Yep.
It sounded full and fat with this one, and not so much with the others. Actually, the RT-2 wasn't too bad.
The RT-2 was okay. I thought the Keeley was okay as well.
Yeah.
The mini vent and the Lex, you heard the phase shift between the dry signal, and that is one of the bugbears.
Does two things, doesn't it? One, it makes the effect itself sound much more phasey.
Yeah.
So you get this kind of comb filtering, extra, which you might dig, you might like that, but you get more of it, so it starts to sound flangy phasey. Plus, because of the phase problem in the bottom end, you lose quite a lot of depth and fullness in the sound overall.
So one thing to try, like the Lex, there is a separate dry control. So if we turn the dry all the way off, and then just go like pure wet on one side, pure dry on the other. You hear it thin out as I introduce the dry signal, and then So
I deliberately played some low notes so you'd hear the effect of that in the bass.
So you can mitigate it by going 100% wet, but the thing with the Hughes and Kettner is because analog dry is bang in phase with what's going on, then it just mixes so beautifully.
Yeah,
and also that means that you can go really intense with the effect.
Yeah.
And you've still got that direct signal. And that's why, guitar players through the years have added that in conjunction with their sound and not made it completely, the thing. It's just the Leslie.
It's such a wonderful thing. Just before we get to the stereo, I mean, if you just put on some drive, okay? And some delay.
And that's going into the other amp.
Is it?
Yeah.
So we've got into the
non-Leslie amp.
So we're going to have overdrive hitting both amplifiers.
That's right.
Delay only hitting one of them.
That's right.
And
Leslie
only hitting the other one.
That's right.
Yeah. So
So interesting. In that test, I thought the rotary sounded fantastic.
Yep, held on well, the Keeley.
Yep. The Rotosphere it really is its own thing.
Yeah.
It just stands apart.
The mini vent and the Lex are definitely the furthest out of phase.
Yeah, yeah.
Without
They're
doubt.
it's got the most cancellation thing.
Yeah, which means they have the most latency, I think.
Yeah. But I thought the rotary in that thing sounded great, and there's a different throb in the rotary. It's almost not univibey, but univibey thing.
Yeah, yeah. The Boss stood up pretty well once we dialed some of that drive out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We've got to do VCQ in a minute, so let's do some stereo and see where that takes us.
Sounds good. Stereo.
Explain what's happened, Daniel.
So I've just added the cables for the stereo mode and just hooked them all up in stereo. So now we can hear stereo. So basically you'll have this stereo output which separates the horn from the rotor.
Not always.
Not always.
You can choose.
Oh.
And I don't know what we've got.
It's a crapshoot. Shooting craps.
It's crap something. When we set the Lex up, the first thing we did was to put it into stereo mode, not Bi-Amp mode. So if you put it into Bi-Amp mode, it will do what you just said.
Right.
But if in stereo mode, it'll just be stereo.
Then stereo's good.
Because if you think about it, and we're not sure which is which, right? So we'll figure that out.
Of course, because you're going to have but every now and then both speakers are going to be going to that side.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So think about what happens when you've got an actual Leslie cabinet.
Yes.
You've got a main rotor speaker at the bottom, or at least a speaker around which a rotating wooden drum goes. And you usually put one mic on that, usually. What you then do is put stereo mics around the horns that spin. And that whole thing about the distance, how far away they are, and the various positioning can really change the effect of the rotary speaker effect. Now, in guitar terms, playing wet dry a la Gilmore, or whoever else, there's no real requirement for stereo.
No.
Because the massiveness is made via the wet dry.
Yes.
Stereo is what happens if you mic up a Leslie cab.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's the point of having
left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pan it left and right. So what you'll hear now is the the Tone King and the Fender panned hard left and right. Well, I'll make a decision. Sometimes it can sound weird if they're panned like massively. Anyway, I'll make it clear on screen how they're panned.
Okay.
And seeing as we know how to do it, we can change the stereo or Bi-Amp left and right in the Lex, and we'll do that. But all the others will just mess about with the stereo field.
Okay.
And because it's hard to tell, it's hard for us to tell, right? Because the amps are both there, so we can't hear it in stereo, so we don't really know what's happening. Yeah.
Can ye?
Okay. Actually, no, I'll play this guitar. Why not?
Paid enough bloody money for it.
really hard to tell. All sounded pretty nice.
Yeah.
Because we're no longer dealing with a phase issue because
it's all going
there's not one that's going to one and not the other. Just see if we can do this thing on the old Strymon then, Dan. We'll try, at the moment it's in stereo mode, we'll try and put it in the bi-amped mode, which will send the horn to one and the rotor to the other.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, try that.
Groovy sounds. That bi-amp thing with the Lex is fantastic.
Yeah, so the point of that is the idea of that is not to pan it left and right. The plan would be to send one to one amp and one to another amp, and have them. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do that in the others.
Right.
I rather suspect you can in the Boss.
Okay.
Yeah, and it might be that you can do it in the Keeley as well. You can probably do it in the Mini Vent. Please check the manuals for these deep dive features. Important to say, if you're that kind of person who likes to get a pedal out of the box and just use it and it sound good and not have to read a 42-page manual,
yes,
actually the Strymon Lex is still the pedal to buy, I think.
Right, because it's all there.
Because it's all on the top panel. I mean, I love the Mini Vent so much. I love how it sounds, and I really love the fact that you don't have to change anything. And you straight out the box, you've got a gainier and a less gainy version.
Right.
Really interesting hearing the Rotary in stereo at the end.
Yeah.
It is, having moaned about the EQ, or at least having said that I want some EQ control, I think that one has been voiced specifically for use once you start getting into overdrive sounds. Because it doesn't have the fizz.
Yeah, right.
It's thicker in the mids.
There is something about it that I really dig, and when things were kind of, you're digging in and things are breaking up a little bit, I felt that held together really well. And there's something about that throb with it that kind of, it puts me a little bit more in mind of a uni vibe than the other ones, but it's obviously still the rotary thing. But I dig it. There's a lushness to it that I dig.
Yeah, I mean, some people, when you're looking for a rotary, what people are after are that really lovely, presence and jangle in the high end,
Yeah.
which you will associate with certain rotary sounds, and some of the ones you just want to slam an overdrive in it and do kind of cream or whatever.
Yeah.
So having the ability to be able to change the EQ is really helpful, unless you love the sound of it straight out of the box. The Rotary, I think, it's the one that requires spending the most time just to get your head around those dual concentrics. The
RT-2.
Yeah, is that what I said?
The Rotary ensemble.
Yeah,
the RT-2, yeah.
The Boss one. Getting your head around which way those switches work and just changing the parameters.
Because when you change the switches, you set it up one way, then you change the switch back, it remembers that setting, you set it up the other way. So there's actually like 8 knobs in there to control and to find the blend. So and because it's all switcheroo, you will need to spend a little bit of time getting the balance right and getting all that stuff. But look, and they all sound great. You turn on that old Rotosphere, and how old is that now?
Very. It's so old they don't make them anymore. Right,
and you turn that on, it's like, it's still the one.
Yeah. I think we've got to take it out of the game because it tell us if you strongly disagree. In the room here today, it is head and shoulders, for me, sonically, the one that I like the most. As a pure opinion, right? Not a statement of fact, just a pure opinion. But we know that it's not available.
Yeah.
We know that actually on that front, I do know of at least 2 Rotary Speaker, analog Rotary Speaker pedals on the way.
Do you?
Maybe not this year, but I do know of 2 in development.
Wow, okay.
So, yeah.
Do you... I mean, would they remake that?
He's and Ket, a lot of people have asked. I think it's really hard to make.
Yeah.
And it is noisy.
It is noisy.
And it's got a tube in it.
Right, okay. So how much of the audience are you automatically going, no, I just want something to play badge with?
And I think if we... in the way that a real Rotary Speaker cabinet is for aficionados only, 2 steps down that ladder is the Rotosphere.
Yeah.
And for everybody else in the world, which is most of us most of the time, you want something simpler. Now, it's a real toss-up for me.
Right.
Between the wet-dry, I think it's going to be the Keeley.
The Keeley for me, wet-dry, and because that's how I play, that's the one I would use.
Yeah.
The stereo, the Lex, I think is extraordinary.
Yeah, I got no requirement for stereo.
Exactly. I only ever use wet-dry, and hearing it retained all the fullness, which is beautiful, and I like the throb in it. So if and
I actually thought the RT-2 outperformed the mini vent and the Lex wet-dry.
Yes. Yeah, agreed.
I do. For a straight 1 amp mono on the end of your pedal board, it's a toss-up between the mini vent and the Lex for me.
Completely.
And that is a tough call.
Yeah.
Because I like all the tweakability of the Lex. Love being able to drive it easily. You can do all that in the mini vent if you can just work it out. One thing I love about no knobs, you can't change them.
That's right. Like any good unit, there's no going back.
So it sticks, once you've set it.
That's it.
It's on your pedal board. The knobs can't get moved.
Yeah. There is a freedom in that.
Yeah,
it's like, it either sounds good. I mean, it's going to sound good. Yeah. It is. And it takes away the fiddly thing. You just play it.
Cool. Okay. Hope that was useful. It was a long video. We wanted to do mono. We wanted to do a bit of wet dry, and we wanted to do a bit of stereo. It's not an exhaustive run through of all the features, and the comments will be full of you.
You forgot to do
saying you forgot to do this, or you didn't understand this, or you didn't understand that. I want to take it out of the box. I want to put it on the board, and I want to be able to get a good sound out of it quickly.
Yeah. It's still the one.
Please don't break down. Please don't break down.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I look
time for
forward
VCQ,
to,
my friend.
Time for VCQ. I look forward to the
getting the shit kicked out of us in the comments.
Brilliant. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and go to thatpedalshowstore.com and grab some merchandise. It is the main way you fund the show. And join us 5 p.m.
in about
7 minutes.
27 minutes for VCQ on a Monday evening.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you all.
Bye-bye.